What's going on, everyone? My name is Nori Plays and welcome yet again to another tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to cover spiking. So without further ado, let's go ahead and explain how to get better at spiking very quickly. So I'm going to start off by doing left sets and then I'll do right sets after. But it's basically the same, it's just mirrored. So you can use this principle on both sides. So since it's being set to the left with power 6, I will first show you feints. So feints is something you do like this. So you can see I jump, fake, run, bang. Those are going to be really strong to throw your opponents off guard, because they think you're going to do it quick, but in reality, you're actually delaying it a lot more. So that's one type of spike you can do. You can do this on either side as well, so you can fake here and go here. You can even fake over here and then go towards the setter. So there's fakes covered pretty much very quickly. Another one is hard cuts and quicks. These are going to be very strong when the blocker isn't really that good, and these will be the hardest to cover on the other team. You can do that on both the left and the right side, as long as you're very close to the setter and holding W to lean forward so that you aim it down. If you want to do longs, you do longs without leaning at all. Leaning slightly changes your aim. So as you can see, there's the lean to the right and there's the lean to the left. So it's not that much different, so I don't think there's a point in leaning when you're spiking. So you could probably just ignore that as a whole. Another thing, as a spiker, you have to force wipes sometimes when you're being blocked. So to force wipes, you remember in the serve tutorial, the leans, where you press S and A, S and D for your serves, like this, to get it over the net. Well, you do the same here when you're getting blocked in order to wipe the blocker to get it through them. So that's how you do wipes as well. There's also low power, so you can lower your power instantly. I'm using the same old power presets as I usually do. So if you guys are curious, it is 3, 6, and 15. I think those are the best powers all round in the game. There's also delays, so you just wait right until the ball is over this net here to spike it. This will throw the blockers off because they think you're going to spike at any moment. It actually looks really cool as well because the ball just goes instantly flying. Like that. And there's, for the complicated stuff, I'm now going to talk about movement. So you can fly in like this into a spike. But what I tend to do when I spike is do this. Boom, 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 boom. So that movement, I'm going to break it down into different sections. So, first one is obviously turning off mouse lock. You can do it with mouse lock, but it just looks a bit stiff, in my opinion. So turn off mouse lock for this movement. And basically the point of this movement is to make it look like you're going to jump. So if you move like this towards the setter, like here, they think that you're going to jump here. But then you fake. You go back here again, you fake that, and you go here. In combination with sprint, obviously it'll look like this. Which is an insanely effective tool. It's like the delayed one, but just more complicated and more of a chance to fake out the other team. So flicks as well, because you don't want to pre-aim. Let me just talk about pre-aim and what pre-aim is. Pre-aim is when you look somewhere before you spike, and you keep looking there. So it makes the spike look obvious. So say the set came here, and I just kept looking here. That's a pre-aimed spike, because I am constantly facing in the direction where I'm spiking it. And that is frowned upon. I don't know why. Pre-aiming is absolutely fine when you know when to pre-aim and where to aim in general. But in this video, I'll also cover flick spikes. So flick spikes is what I've been doing this entire video. Basically locking into where I want to aim. So let me demonstrate a flick spike again. So something like that is a flick spike, because I'm moving around with no mouse lock, locking at where I want to aim, and then spiking it. Which is a big difference between pre-aiming, because pre-aiming is very readable. Flicks, on the other hand, they're still readable, but not as much, because you're constantly moving around doing random movement. So it's way less readable at where you're going to spike it. Let's go ahead and talk about quicks. So quicks, you want to go to antenna, bang. You can go here as well, but never go like... You can do this as long as the receive is pretty damn high. Yeah, we're talking like that high. Then you can do quicks from close up. But if it's low, what it's gonna do is, as you can see here, it goes across the net, and then it hits the point where it's over the net. So that's usually what's gonna happen when you do quicks from the ground, is it's gonna be against the net for a certain period of time until it goes above it. So cuts, yeah, blockouts as well. So if there's a blocker, let's say jumping up here, you actually, because of how the angles work, in the back row video, I believe, I explained how blocks work. If you spike into the block like this, it's gonna force the spike into the block, and then it's gonna go out, which means you will get the point because they hit the ball out of the court. But those are really hard to pull off unless you know you can read the blocker really well. Let's see, what else is there? There's also jungle sets. So for jungle sets, I recommend just waiting a bit longer than usual before spiking it. As a spiker, you've got to be able to adjust to bad sets a lot of the time. And I think jungle sets will really help you do that. Learn how to adjust to different kinds of sets. So if you have a private server again, you can use this to kind of follow along, copy these settings, and just try practice like this. If you want to become a better spiker, there's no other way to do it. Apart from just this and probably scrims, to be honest, if you want to become a good spiker. But this is where you're going to spend most of your time as a spiker, learning different ways to spike the ball. And learn to not have a preference of power, because that's going to be your downfall. I say that because, say you say, oh yeah, set me 6 all the time, right? And someone keeps setting you this 6. This set is going to become easily predictable after a while because it has the same arc. So if you say, give me power 6, and someone gives you the power 6 every single game, this ball can only travel so far that it becomes readable after a set amount of time. So make sure you call different powers at different times to mix up the opponent, like power 3. So that you can fake a quick into a cut, for example. So make sure that you don't only stick to one power when you ask the setter to set you. Make sure to be creative with your spikes as well. So I don't know if I covered how to do flex properly. It's the same as with the serve, you just kind of move around with no mouse lock. You look at where you want to aim, jump, lean, and bang. So I think that's it, right? There's also safe spikes, so when you also know that you're getting blocked, instead of going for a blockout, you can also bounce it off of the block safely with low power, so that you can receive it and continue to play. But spamming this is illegal in scrims, so you can't just spam 6 power spikes everywhere. So make sure you don't do that all the time, because it is illegal. From then on, it's really just your aim and your ability to read between the blocks. So say there's a blocker here and a blocker here. Your ability to aim between the blockers is crucial, and that you're only going to learn by playing the game. So, I think that about covers this video. If you liked it, smash the like button, subscribe as always. You guys are awesome, by the way. Thank you so much for 200 subscribers. I couldn't thank all of you enough for what you've done to me over the past couple of days. I appreciate all the kind words as well. The next video is going to be a blocking video, so make sure you're tuned in for that. I don't know when that's going to come out, in a couple of days or so. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.